Some neighbors borrow sugar. Some neighbors argue. But these neighbors did things no human should ever do. Here are 3 real neighbor horror stories that will make you check every wall, every vent, and every peephole in your home. Story 1. The neighbor whose lights never turned on. I moved into my new apartment 3 months ago. But the man living next door never turned on his lights. The first week, I told myself it was normal. Some people sleep early, but every night at exactly 2 a.m., I heard footsteps from apartment 303, slow, like someone pacing. Then faster, like they were running. Then a dragging sound, heavy, scraping across the floor. I complained to maintenance, annoyed and exhausted. The guy at the desk looked confused and typed into their system. After a moment, he said, almost whispering, "Apartment 303 hasn't been rented for years. No one lives there." I insisted someone was inside. I heard them every night. The next evening, while heading to my kitchen, I passed the peephole and froze. A shadow stood right in front of 303's door. Tall, thin, absolutely still. The hallway lights were off. I could barely see a shape. I whispered, "Hello?" The figure turned its head, slowly. Even though the hallway was pitch black, it was staring straight at me. I heard breathing, deep, heavy, deliberate. The next day, maintenance finally agreed to check the apartment. When they unlocked the door, I stayed behind them. The room was empty. No furniture, no bed, no electricity, but the floor was covered in footprints, bare footprints. Hundreds, all pointing toward one place. My wall. My apartment. As they left, something caught my eye. A broken tile in the corner, slightly lifted. I pulled it back. Underneath was a piece of paper. Old, wrinkled, with one sentence written in shaky handwriting. "I only come when your lights go off. See you tonight." Story to the old woman who asked, "Is he inside?" He live alone. So when my 70-year-old neighbor kept knocking and asking, "Is he inside with you?" I thought she was losing her mind. It started at 3 a.m. with a soft knock. I opened the door a crack, and she stood there shaking. He got out again," she whispered. "Did he come inside your room?" I told her no, and closed the door gently. I figured she was confused. Maybe memory issues? But the next night, I heard something new. Tapping. Inside my vents. Soft at first, then faster. Then a whisper, thin and breathy. "Let me out!" I called the landlord immediately. He told me the vents on our floor are connected. Every apartment shares the same system. That night, the old woman knocked again. "But this time," she was crying. "He crawled through my vents," she said. "He knows your name now." I couldn't sleep. At around 4 a.m., I heard breathing behind my vent cover. I grabbed a flashlight, approached slowly, and shined it inside. And I stared back. Not human. Huge, reflective, and the corners of it twisted upward like it was smiling. I ran straight to the old woman's apartment. Her door was slightly open. Inside, the lights were on, but she was gone. Claw marks were dragged across the floor, leading directly into her vent, opening torn clean off the wall. Before I called the police, I heard her voice. Not from the hallway. Not from outside. From inside my walls. Soft. Shaking. "He found you." Story 3. The neighbor who watched me through the peephole every night at 1:17 a.m. My neighbor stood outside my door and stared through my peephole. At first, I thought he had a mental issue. He didn't blink, didn't talk, just stood there facing my door completely still. One night, fed up, I tried opening the door. But the moment my lock clicked, he moved. His face slammed against my peephole. Flattened nose, breathing loudly enough to fog the lens. I jumped back and called building security. They checked the hallway. "There's no one outside your door," they told me. But when I looked again through the peephole, he was still there, closer than before, smiling. The next morning, I woke up and noticed something horrifying. The peephole lens had been removed from the inside of my door. Someone had reached in, That night, at 1:17 a.m., I woke up again. But not from footsteps, not from breathing, from whispering. Behind me, I turned slowly, using my phone light. Tere, Iwash. Standing in my hallway, inside my apartment, head tilted, smiling the same stretched smile I saw at the door. The police came. No signs of forced entry, but they found fingerprints all over my walls, and every single one belonged to him. Security swears he never left his apartment that night. But I saw him, right behind me,